I'm joined today here on Primetime Local News with Corinne McGurr. She is the General Manager of Community Futures Lloydminster and Region. Now, Community Futures is boasting some positive numbers from 2020 into 2021. But before we talk about some of those statistics, Corinne, can you just tell me a little bit about what Community Futures Lloydminster and Region is?
Community Futures is a program grassroots based, and we're here to help businesses and entrepreneurs grow, expand, diversify, and be sustainable over the long period. So we are here to do business supports as well as community economic development.
And now Community Futures, you guys are boasting about a successful 2020-2021, and $3.4 million was distributed to some local businesses. Can you just tell me a little bit more about that?
You bet. It was our single most highest amount of dollars invested in our region since we started over 30 years ago. And a big part of that was our Regional Relief and Recovery Fund that we dispersed on behalf of the federal government during the COVID pandemic. So lots of the funding were relief oriented, just to help businesses survive the wildest year we've ever experienced.
And a lot of this funding helped create or even maintain jobs here locally in the region.
Yes, it certainly did. And that was a key metric that we were wanting to monitor. Was it's great to have the dollar invested, but what does that actually mean for our people and our communities? And so over the past year, over 180 jobs were either created or maintained through those business loans, which is absolutely critical to our economic success as a community.
And then beyond just dollars and grants going to businesses, Community Futures also runs different training programs and things like that.
Yeah, we sure do. We have a great entrepreneurial ecosystem here in our region, and so we work really closely with our partners like Alberta Innovates and Startup Lloydminster and the Chamber of Commerce's. And we're all working together to make sure that businesses here have the same information that anybody else operating anywhere would also have. So a key part of that are training sessions, lunch and learns, webinars, whatever we can do to get people connected and networking with other businesses, entrepreneurs, and most importantly, resources.
And now another big project is Project Gazelle that goes towards supporting female entrepreneurs. Can you just tell me a little bit more about how successful that was?
Yeah, absolutely. We are in our about 2.5 years into Project Gazelle, so we have another 1.5 years of programming left. And so this was a separate federal grant that we received to specifically promote women entrepreneurs across northern Alberta and northwest Saskatchewan. So we're proud that the project is based here. It's the largest bi-provincial project on the federal government's list of projects through the Women Entrepreneurship Strategy. And so, so far to date, we've had almost 1,200 women across the greater region take steps towards entrepreneurship as an option. And particularly during COVID, it was absolutely essential that females and single moms and partners were all hustling and trying to do what they could to survive this past year. And so we found a lot of great creative and innovative entrepreneurs looking to start their businesses.
Now, you mentioned earlier that the reason that you guys were able to distribute so much money from the federal government, a lot of this money was to support recovery during the pandemic and stuff. So going forward, what's the outlook for local businesses here in the area?
You know what? One of the great things about tough times is that we learn really quickly how resilient we are and how much creativity and innovation is in our community. As our basic metrics, we have some basic metrics each year that we need to promote businesses and give out loans. And so already in the first quarter of our year, we've already met our entire metrics for the year. So the downtimes bring out the entrepreneurs, and they're ready to get started. They've spent the last year planning, getting their businesses rolling. And so, already we've had people purchasing existing businesses, and that's a huge part of what community economic development is about, is to not lose those existing businesses. And so that succession to a new owner is absolutely critical for the economy. And so we're seeing that. We're seeing lots of startups and a variety. We've processed almost 8 loans already in the first quarter. And it's every single industry you think of. It's all over the place that people are looking to grow and take on the challenge of entrepreneurship.
Awesome, Corinne. Well, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with me. It was great to hear everything that's going on at Community Futures.